Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host, Andre Norman, founder, Second Chance University. I am back, episode 6, Ask Andre. I got my boy on the line. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jules, shout out to Missouri DOC for getting this started. So, without the long stories, let's go.
What's good, world? It's your boy Jewel back with my main man Andre Norman. We're here to do episode 6 of Ask Andre. Question 1. What is your opinion of women holding a man down while he's doing a long bid?
My opinion of a woman holding a guy down while he's on a long bid is phenomenal. I mean, I can go back to my life. Well, on my side, my mother's husband went to jail for bank robbery. While he was in jail for bank robbery, she met my dad. So she didn't hold him down for a long time. So I got here on the reverse of what I'm about to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because had she held him down, she'd never got with my dad. Me and 3 of my siblings wouldn't be alive. So they broke up some kind of sort of way after he went to prison. She meets my dad, has 4 more kids, of which I'm one. So I'm a benefactor of not the long. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, right? But that's how I got here from the gate. But if she can do that, that's phenomenal. It's a great thing. I mean, when you go through trials and tribulations together, you build a relationship and a bond that's like unbreakable. You know what I'm saying? So needless to say that those relationships didn't work out for my mom, either one of them. But I've seen people who forged relationships in jail. And if you can go through this type of trauma and drama and daily stress, once they come home, ain't nothing you can't beat. So I believe it's a great thing. It takes 2. She has to be really understanding, and the guy on the inside needs to be really understanding, because the relationship's different dating from inside of a prison to dating in person. So, but if she can do it, phenomenal. And it's a phenomenal thing. You invest in the right guy, and you're there for him. I mean, come on. I mean, if you can survive this and get through this, you can get through anything. And it's always tough times that break people up, financials that break people up, miscommunication. While he's in jail and you're at home, there's nothing but communication going on. There's no romance in the way, there's no sex in the way, there's no going to bed mad in the way at one level. It's all communication. So it's a great time to perfect your communication, really get to know each other at a level that you could never do if you met in person on the street. So use this time to go deep. I'm saying, really get to know him, really get to know her, and you, oh my God, it's just you transcend. If you go deep, then y'all be soulmates at a whole nother level.
Question 2. What can a woman do to keep her man motivated and focused on staying out after prison, after doing a lot of time in prison?
What can she do to keep him motivated? While he's doing the time and y'all doing the time together, that's the time to help him make sure that he's studying, make sure that he's reading, make sure he's going to programs, make sure that he's not on the yard, just walking the track every day doing nothing. Make sure that he's working out, he's getting some miles in, he's getting some steps in. You know what it's going to be like for him when he comes home, but he doesn't know. So you want to get him in the habit of walking for 45 minutes in the morning. Like, yo, honey, you walk 45 minutes to an hour in the morning, you walk 45 minutes to an hour at night. You might have him walk 2 hours, whatever, but help him stay healthy. That's one thing I didn't do. I stopped my workout towards the last 4 years of my bid, and that's something I regret to this day. But help him stay healthy, help him keep his mind active, help him keep planning. So when he walks out, it's easy street. The things you're gonna have problems with are the things you don't deal with while he's inside. Getting healthy, thinking correctly, learning how to negotiate, learning how to compromise, learning how to financially plan. So if she's out there, of course, in this instance, she's handling the money. So you can just handle the money, send him whatever you send him every couple of weeks or whatever, and say nothing. Or you can say, no, something. If we're going to be together forever, you're saying at one level, you got to make sure you get the right guy. It's like and have financial conversations. If you don't know and trust him right away, have small financial conversations. You know what I'm saying? It can be about, hey, I'm sending you $100 every week. What are you spending it on? Send me the receipts. Let's talk about this. It's not that you're trying to track him. You're trying to get him to be financially responsible. In prison, they don't teach financial literacy. So if you're sending me $100 a week or whatever you're sending me, and you say, hey, spend it on what you want, but send me the receipt. Receipt come, now let's talk about what you bought. Not from the standpoint of I'm trying to control you or be in your business from her side, but you want to have financial conversations. You should be able to, man, explain what you bought. If you bought honey buns, say it. If you bought stamps, say it. If you rented some movies, say it. It's not about control. It's about learning to have financial conversations. Think about it. On the inside, we're not having financial conversations. Unless we're talking about gambling or something else, ain't no financial nothing. You know what I'm saying? Girls send you money, people send you money, you go to the store, you spend it, and that's it. Having conversations just about your commissary list and how you're spending your money is going to help your mind turn on in a different space. So don't think about it as control or micromanagement. Think about it as financial literacy part one. If you can't manage $100 a week, when you start getting real money, it's going to be out the window and you won't be able to talk about it. So use the time now to build in things for later.
Question 3. Kids these days are influenced by peer pressure and social media. What advice would you give our kids on how to be their own person?
Our kids are never their own person. They're mirror images of their parents or the people that they see in their lives. So there's no such thing as be your own person. I am a reflection of my parents, of my siblings, of my neighbors, I'm saying of the kids I went to school with, of my teachers, of my mentors, good, bad, and indifferent. So don't ever think somebody's their own person. That own person goes out the window. You like what you like because you saw someone else with it before you. So I grew up smoking Newports. You know why? Because the guys in my neighborhood smoked Newports. I went to the white side of the town, they all smoked Marlboros. Why y'all smoking Marlboros? Because that's what they saw growing up. We drink Hennessy. Why do we drink Hennessy? Because the guy in front of me drink Hennessy. They drink something else. You know what I'm saying? Jägermeister. Never heard of that stuff. They drink Jägermeister. What is Jägermeister? You are a sum total of the things that you experience at one level. So as far as kids, what you put in front of them, they're going to absorb and they're going to copy. That's it. So you don't tell them, you lead by example, not by words. So if you're the guy and you got these kids, whether your kids are stepkids and I was a stepkid, your advice matters. But again, you give your advice and then you live your advice. You just can't give it, do what I say, not as I do. So try to live out the advice as you give it. And again, if you have kids out there and you're dating mom, whether your kids or not, they're seeing how their mother's responding to you. So you got to make sure that the way you're treating her makes her feel good, then they'll feel good because mom feels good. If mom's stressed out, then they're stressed out. So you have a direct impact on kids.
Question 4. Mental health and depression is real. So for men and women who has done a lot of time, how do you understand them and help them to readjust back into society?
The way you help somebody readjust into society after doing a long time is while they're there. I keep going back to reentry starts at day one, not day end. So when you first get there, I'm saying you want to start working on your mental health. You want to start working on your program, working on the things that you know aren't right in you. Me, I had a comprehension problem. I could read, but I couldn't comprehend. Me, I had an anger problem. Me, I had a lot of it. I went through my list of issues. And when I got cognizant of who I was and I stopped running around the yard being crazy, I started working on those things one at a time. One at a time, one at a time. I put 80% of my energy on one thing, 20% on everything else. When that 80%, that first thing got done, then the next one, then the next one, then the next one. And that's how I still run my life and my business. 80% of my energy go on one thing, 20% on everything else. People get mad at me because I'm so one step at a time type of dude. They be like, hey, nope, step one. Well, no, step one. Let's finish step one. But I don't care. Then we go to step two. So while they're inside or while you're inside, make a list of the things you need to work on. Then pick the easiest one first and go there. Then the next easiest. And just keep walking it down until you finally get it done.
you had mentioned that you don't like being around big crowds when you go to Brazil. Does that have anything to do with how you were when you were incarcerated?
I don't like big crowds. Yes, that's a prison thing for sure. I need to see the hands. I need to see people's faces. I need to read the crowd. And we in this giant building, hundreds of thousands of people moving around, it's just too much for me. Overstimulation. So I don't get nervous. It's just too much effort trying to watch everybody and see who's who, what's what. So I just don't feel comfortable in large crowds. It's just a me thing. I've been in large crowds out on the prison yard, and the crowd disperses. People stressed out on the ground, and nobody saw a thing because that's what happens in large crowds in prison sometimes. So for me, I'm not trying to relive prison. I don't think a football game or a basketball game is prison. I do go to events, but it's just not my go-to. I'm saying I like being in my own space with my own people where it's quiet. I like quiet. You put me in a football stadium, too much noise. I just went to a football game a couple of weeks ago. Had fun. We was in the booth. We had a private booth. But even then, it was like 20 people in the booth. I like being in my own space. The less people, the better at one level. Because then we can talk about it, build on it, whatever. But that's just a me thing. And yes, it probably did come from prison. Some things you just never get over. I mean, if that's the worst of the worst, there's some things coming home from prison you'll just carry for the rest of your days. Could I spend some time and energy on it? Have I been to big events where there's a lot of people? Sure. Do I go often? No. So I go to a concert. You know what I'm saying? It depends on where I'm going, but it's not my go-to.
Question 6. What did you learn in prison that is still with you or took time for you to do away with? For instance, a friend of mine said he used to wear shower shoes when he was in prison all the time. And when he went home, his girl caught him in the shower wearing prison shower shoes. So what did you have to do away with when you came home?
Unfortunately, I never wore shower shoes on the street. You know what I'm saying? God bless my brother who was traumatized like that. And what did I have to lose or get rid of? I had this thing. If I make a mistake, I didn't know I had it though. This is the thing, it was subconscious. In prison, when you make mistakes, you can die. Especially when you're running with that mob, you're running in that life, and you're not just in jail, going to work, mind your business. I was not just in jail. I was part of the culture. So I'm always on go, and people around me are always on go. And they're looking for people to make a mistake that you can knock them off. That's the life I was living in the first 6 years of my bid. So I had this thing, make a mistake and you die. Twice I made a mistake, and once I almost died, and second time I could have got killed. So I'm real cognizant about making mistakes. I am so anal and locked in about not making mistakes. And I'm home 3 or 4 years. And I did something that was clearly a mistake. And it hit me. I'm like, oh my God, are they coming? And I'm looking for like the dudes to come around the corner with knives. I'm like, are they coming for me? And I'm like, oh my God, they're coming. And I realized, hold up, you're home. Ain't nobody coming for you, man. Ain't nobody thinking about you. You're thinking this even though you've been home for 3 years. So some of the thinking that I couldn't make a mistake without dying or suffer some like awful penalty or punishment was something I carried for 3+ years and didn't even know I was carrying it.
Question 7. You said on the other episode that you would have asked more about things that would have helped your younger self. So can you advise us on how to ask about starting nonprofits and getting buildings to support that?
If you want to get a nonprofit, one, who do you want to help? How are you going to help them? What is the outcome? So I want to help 14, 18-year-old Spanish girls who don't speak English learn this language. I want to help 18 to 25-year-old black men coming home from foster care who don't have a place to stay. I want to help 26 to 37-year-old white guys who are dealing with opioid addiction, who got it by way of first taking medicine for pain, you know what I'm saying, for some kind of pain prescribed. It wasn't like they were just in the street. You have to have what the outcome is, what is the process, and who is it for. So in this instance, hey, how do I help the 15-year-old that used to be me's? So that's 12. Now let's go back. And this other thing, when you say 12 to 15, you just went 7th grade to 10th grade, which is 2 different buildings. So there's a middle school and there's a high school. So it's it's easier to pick 12 to 14 and 15 to 18 because you can focus on a building, not 2 buildings. But that's going deeper. But pick a demographic: elementary school age, middle school age, high school age, college age, you know what I'm saying, age out of foster care age. Pick a group where it's going to be one group more real easy to deal with. Then say, what do I want to do for this group? Well, for these middle school kids, I want to do X. For these high school age kids, I want to do Y. You know what I'm saying? For these foster kids growing out a service at 18 or 21, I want to do X. Be clear in who you're serving, what you're doing, and what are the outcomes. Then you build your nonprofit around that, and we can do a whole episode around nonprofits.
Question 8. Would you be willing to create a program that will help prisoners coming home to walk out the door with a fresh start and hope to push them forward in doing right?
Yeah, it's called Ask Andre. That's what this is. This is the program to help you get ready to walk out the door and keep going. Because you get to do something I couldn't do. All the questions I had before I went home, there was nobody I could ask. The only people I can ask was the people who were back on parole violation. It was like 50 guys, 100 guys on the yard who violated parole and came back. They're the only people I could ask about how to succeed. And asking failures on how to succeed is not a good plan. So you get to ask me questions. Hey, Dre, what about X? What about Y? What about Z? How does this work? How does that work? That's what this is for. So once you tap in, like, I'm not just on here for fun. I want to see you come home and make it. So as we go further down the line, the questions will get deeper, more intense, and more focused. I get that. So this program, Ask Andre, is designed just for that. So am I going to build another program to meet you at the front door? No. Let me answer that question too. No, I am not building a secondary program to meet you at the front door and walk you through. I'm going to help you while you're inside. While you're in here, I got you. While you're outside, there'll be some stuff for you as well. But while you're in here, I got you. Hands down, no blank. We can do this once a week. And when you come home, there'll be a second chance you on the other side.
Are there any meals you used to eat while in prison that you still eat today? Like pizza with crunched up chips on, fried noodles, or steamed noodles?
Unfortunately, I didn't do the crushed up chips. That was after my time. I'm saying crushed up chips was after my time. I'm saying y'all got real creative when after I went home. No, there's no. Let me say this again. Let me lean in. No. If I see a rape renewal, we might start fighting. No, I'm just kidding. I've had a couple soups since I've been home, but no. I go to steakhouses. I go to fish spots. I go to breakfast spots. I mean, I ate pancakes in jail. I went to a spot this morning. I had oxtail, an oxtail omelet for breakfast. You know what I mean? I don't remember having oxtail omelets in prison. What am I gonna have for dinner? I'm gonna have like some kind of seafood taco. There's a spot down the street. It's a taco spot. Have seafood taco. I remember having seafood tacos in prison. So it is what it is. No, I don't recall going into a restaurant trying to simulate a prison diet at all, ever. It's just never come across my mind. So, nah, I mean, the canteen list or the commissary list, wherever you are, I'm quite sure it's far more limited than the steakhouses that I go to, or the fish houses that I go to, or the barbecue spaces I go to, or even the Chinese places. I got some curry shrimp soup downstairs in the kitchen. Fire. Never had curry shrimp soup in prison. You know what I'm saying? Nah. So the short answer, no. There are no meals that I'm simulating out here from inside at all. None. Let me say that again. None. And nor should you. If you come home and you find yourself eating prison food, that's a problem. Call me.
Question 10. Women want to know what caused your last relationship to end, and would you get married again?
My last relationship, why did it end? One, I wasn't ready to be fully open and transparent and all inclusive as women. See, women request and expect stuff from guys, and hey, she's pretty, she's sexy, I want to get with her. So our stuff is or mine. Let me take that back. My stuff tend to be physical. Oh, she's pretty, she's attractive. Oh, and she's smart, and all those things. So you're intelligent, you're a business person, you're pretty, you're sexy, you're attractive. You got my attention. That's not what she's looking for. She's looking for emotionally ready, emotionally vulnerable, open-minded, communicative, all the other stuff. And so I was ready for mine. I wasn't fully ready for hers. So nobody taught me about relationships. So I've been learning relationships trial and error. And and what I've discovered is I got to do more work on me so I can be ready for her and not keep messing up relationships, because my last 3 relationships have been ended because of me not being in a space to meet you where you are versus you just meeting me where I'm at. And so would I get married again? Of course. I mean, married was the best thing going. Married was the best thing going. Hands down, no blame. And listen, the last 3, yeah, were all wife status. I'm saying we just couldn't get me out my way, and a little bit of them, more of me, but I'm 100%. Married is a good thing. Greatest thing you ever do.
Question 11. Dre, you are successful and have a lot to offer. So does the woman that you desire have to come to the table with the same things?
I don't need the women that I meet to have as much money as me, I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world, but to be as intelligent as me. Actually, my ex-wife, let me say that correctly because I get in trouble. My ex-wife has a PhD from MIT and a master's from Harvard, spoke 5 languages, writes world policy. Far more intellectually gifted than I could ever hope to be. But our conversations are great. So I like highly intelligent people. I'm saying highly educated people. It's just a thing for me because I like to talk. I'm a low-key historian. And her master's was in history too, from Harvard. So no, you don't need to be bigger, better, brighter than me. Just be able to meet me where I'm at and be comfortable with who you are. So if you're not a business person, that's fine. If you are, as long as you're happy with who you are, that's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? And I can help. But whatever you're doing, you gotta be willing to go to the top of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you can't say, oh, I just want to be this little person in the corner. No, you have to have the drive or the willingness to be the best of the best in your space. You just can't be like some cog in a wheel someplace and people just like turn the dial, like you're just there. You know what I'm saying? I expect you to want to be excellent in your space. And if you don't know how, I'll teach you. If you don't want to learn, then that's where the problem's going to come in.
Question 12. What is your favorite thing to do when you are back at home in Boston?
The favorite thing to do when I'm back at home in Boston? Ah, man, what do I do? Well, I live on the road now. I moved out of Boston probably 14 years ago. So go to the old food spots. You know what I'm saying? There's a spot. Man, what's the name of that spot? It's in, oh my God. Make me call somebody. You gonna make me call somebody. Simcoe's, shout out to Simcoe's, Blue Hill Ave. Oh my God, you gonna make me call somebody, man. I go to this place so much I don't remember the name of it. It's right over the bridge. Oh man, what is the name of this spot? I go there so much, I'm gonna call my brother right now. Like, yo, I gotta give you this. Go to my favorite food spots where I grew up when I was a kid. I cannot remember the name of any of these spots. Done. That's crazy. There's one on Blue Hill Ave. I can't remember these spots. This is crazy. I gotta call my brother. That's my food spots. Dundada.
What up, what up?
I'm doing Ask Andre, man, and they were like, "What I like to do when I go home?" And I came. What's the food spot? My Chinese food spot over the bridge. Cafe Pacific. Shout out, and our Dominican restaurant on Blue Hill Ave.
Merengues.
Merengues. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what.
You gotta give a shout out for Joe's.
Oh, for my little bro, Joe's down Dudley. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Silver Slipper down Dudley.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's about it. You know what I'm saying? All right. I got Simcoe's, of course. Brothers Deli, Mattapan Square.
Even though they got mice, so
I don't care about no mice. I'm saying, come on. You grew up in the projects. You talking about mice.
I'm still scared of them.
Are you scared of mice? I'm scared of rats. I'm not scared of mice. Nothing against somebody in jail, but I'm scared of like actual rats because we didn't have them when I grew up.
We had those and the mice, boys.
So you cool with rats, just not mice.
No. You put me in a dark alley without no weapon, I'll take my chances. You put me in the daylight with a mouse or a rat, I'm gone.
Ah, man. All right, well, I'll hit you up.
All right, bro.
Okay, Cafe Pacific, #1. Me and my mom used to go there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Cafe Pacific. I don't do the karaoke stuff, but they got it there. Brothers Deli, you know what I'm saying, all the spots. I go to my favorite food spots and reminisce. It's gone. But when I was a kid, there was a place called Brigham's. It was an ice cream spot. And my mother used to take me shopping every Saturday. And after shop, if I went shopping, what it was, whoever went shopping with mom got to go to the ice cream spot. I loved ice cream, so I volunteered every Saturday. So I used to go to the ice cream shop every Saturday, Brigham's. And sit down and have me a hot fudge sundae. Back in the day, it was just chocolate chip ice cream. Then it grew up to hot fudge sundae. But I love ice cream because of Mon Dukes. And Brigham's was my spot. So it's not there anymore, but I remember it.
Question 13. What do you recommend for someone visiting Boston to do before they leave?
If you're coming to Boston, since you've asked, and what should you do? You should make your way to Boston Garden and look up in the rafters and look at those 18, 19 banners. Going over to Foxborough Stadium, out front, there's a statue with 6 trophies. Check out the Boston Bruins. Check out the Red Sox. We happen to win in Boston a lot. I'm saying, no, if you just want to come to Boston and visit, stay downtown Boston. That's the first thing, downtown, not the financial district. You can stay downtown Boston, and there's the Duck Tour, there's the Freedom Tour, there's the Black History Tour, Black Freedom Trail, the first black churches in Boston, Paul Revere, you know what I'm saying, Carmen's, you know what I'm saying, there's all kinds of shopping, you know what I'm saying, right downtown, you can walk to everything. Then from there, from downtown, you could walk, but it's like a 15-minute walk. You go up to the Seaport, and it's all brand new. Listen, it's like Yuppieville. It's all brand new. It's like every place in these cities they rebuilding, they did it in Boston. It's a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of new hotels, the convention centers over there, all brand new, all like high-end stuff. That's that. Then if you want some educational stuff, from downtown Boston, you get on Mass Ave, take you 2 minutes. 2 blocks up is MIT. No, excuse me. 2 blocks up is Berklee College of Music, the #1 music school in the country. 3 minutes up the road from there is MIT, one of the 3rd best school in the nation and one of the top rocket science schools. Go another 10 minutes up the road, you're gonna hit Harvard Square. And we're University Central. You can just go around and visit. Harvard Square is a tourist attraction all by itself. Get on the Red Line train, take it to Harvard Square, you come upstairs, you're right there, it's all there. The statue of John Harvard, Harvard Square, everything. My office is still there, even though I don't go there anymore. So you could definitely, if it's summertime, you can go sailing on the Charles River. You can definitely walk the Charles River. How do you get there? You have to drive over there and park. Just go walking on the Charles River is phenomenal. Good thing to do. We have a small little area. We're not big on places like New York, so we have some. We're not really a disco town or club town. It's not that big. You have some what I kind of bar. You go to the bars and stuff. But that's what's popping. It's definitely a great place to see historical sites. And if you ever get a chance, 66 Wellington Hill, Mattapan, 02126. That's where the kid grew up.
Question 14. Women want to know, do you want more kids in the future?
Women want to know that I want more kids. Sure. You never have enough kids. You can never, there's nothing greater a person can do other than create a kid. So there's nothing. You can buy a car, you can open a business, you can start a podcast, you can fly around the moon, you can fly there's nothing you can do greater than create another person. So if I can create 10 more kids, I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying? If I had to adopt 10 kids, if I could, I'd do it.
Question 15. What advice would you have for women striving to be successful in a male-dominated world?
If you think it's a male-dominated world, you're already lost. Last I checked, there's a woman running to be president. I don't know how that sits in your mind. Last I thought, there's a woman vice president right now, second most powerful person on the planet, and she's running for president, most powerful seat on the planet. This is the second time woman has actually become the nominee for a party for president. And we had a lot more people in the primaries on both sides, female. You know what I'm saying, women or whatever the exact term is. So, no, it's no longer a male-dominated society. That is a old nomer, and it's done. Now, if you want to subscribe to what was, go ahead. You can see a cheerleader like, oh, that's as far as we can go. You can see an Instagram model as far as we can go. No, you are possibly, I don't know if this is going to come out before the election, but she's running. And right now it's 50-50. And when Hillary Clinton ran, it was 50-50. So from the woman's perspective, being in a male-dominant world, this is twice a woman has carried a nomination for president for a particular party. And it's going to keep happening. It's no longer, oh my God. There was a time when Jesse Jackson ran. Oh my God, a black guy ran for president. It was crazy. Okay, cool. This works. I think it was Chisholm ran for president like back in the 70s. It's like, you can do it. History has said what is. Don't feed him. There's the biblical notion of men govern, women follow. That's in Bible. That's in church. That's at your house. But when you go into politics, the separation of church and state. You can, as a woman, run anything you want. So there's enough examples out here that you can do it. Oh man, well the numbers are skewed. Well, numbers always be skewed. You know what I'm saying? As time goes on. You know what I'm saying? Last I checked, Jeannie Buss owns and runs the LA Lakers and they're winning. I'm saying I'll stop right there. Shout out to the Lakers, even though I'm a Boston Celtic fan. Gotta pay homage.
Question 16. Have you ever taken a loss in business, and if so, how much did you lose?
Have I taken, man, if you ain't never taken a loss, you ain't in business. If you ain't never taken a loss, you ain't in business. When I was in the streets, I took losses. When I was in the penitentiary, we took losses on the business side. And for sure, I take losses out here. It's just part of doing business. No, nothing's gonna 100% go your way. Nothing. My brother, Wall Street Trapper, he does stocks and he crushes it. He's on my Second Acts podcast. Every day, his stocks go up and they go down. When they go down, you take a loss. When they go up, you win. That's the nature of the stock market. Most people in this country and around the world invest in the stock market because that's where the money is. And all it does is one of two things. It goes up or it goes down. And every time it goes down, you lose money. And that's just how it goes. Crypto came out. It went real slow. Then it shot way all the way up. Then it crashed back down. And it's all the way back up. And it's going to crash down again. The housing market, it goes up and it crashes. It goes up. You have to learn how to ride the wave. You can win money going down if you own finances. See, most people think you only win when stuff goes up. You can bet on stuff when it comes down. How do you do that, Dre? It's called financial literacy. That's not today's class. That wasn't the question. But you can actually win when stocks depreciate. You can win when a housing crash comes down. You can win when there's a financial calamity in the world if you bet on that. It's called a long shot. Y'all play football. Y'all watch. Oh, man, the Jets are playing Kansas City. It's 200 to 1. You bet on the Jets. You can bet on the Jets. And in the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes get hurt. Another guy falls out. Andy Reid gets a headache. And lo and behold, Aaron Rodgers goes on a tear and they win. 200 to 1. And you crush. But you got to know when to go. When to bet against the house. It's called betting against the house at one level, but it has happened and it does happen and it works. Answer the question. Of course, I've taken losses, but I turn my losses into wins. That's another question.
Question 17. What do you feel you missed out on while being in prison, and what effect does it have on you now?
My biggest loss on being in prison is I started my family 14 years later than I would have. So instead of graduating high school at 18, going to college around 25, getting married and having kids, I came out of prison at 32, had to get myself together, had my first kid at 37, 38. So that's a 13-year window. And if I'd have started at 25, my mother had 6 kids. So I'd have had way more than one, no question. So I probably had, if I decided at 25, I might have had 5 or 6 kids like mom. And instead of just having one child now, I have 6 or 7. And if I'd had my first kid at 25, when I'm 50, he's 25. So I would have my first grandchild already. My first grandkid should be 7. So I get to be a grandfather, which I heard is the greatest thing ever. I'd have been a grandfather at 50. And I'd have had 7 years of being a grandfather. And given I got another 25, 30 years left on this planet, I just saw my oldest grandkid at least hit 37. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I just saw all the rest of them make it to like 20, 25, 30 grandkids. My son is only 19, so I'm going to see him hit 49. I'm saying 49, 50. If I'm hitting my kids 50, that's a good day. So the baseline is I lost time in the lives of my kids and my grandkids and great-grandkids. My mother, when she passed, it was her kids, then it was our kids, then my nephew Anthony has kids, and his kid has a kid. So my mom was like 5 great-great-great-grandma. I'm not gonna get that. She started probably at 19, 20, and she died almost at 90. So by the time she was ready to go, she had like great-great-great-great-grands and all that type stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm lucky to see a grandkid. There ain't gonna be no great-grands for Dre. So my biggest loss was a time when I could have started my family versus when I did start my family.
Question 18. If you could, would you be in law enforcement?
If I could, would I be in law enforcement? Am I carrying a gun and a badge? No. Can't put on a gun and a badge. I don't carry guns. And I don't wear badges. But I look at you can say, well, Dre helps people in correctional centers. Dre goes out in the community and helps people. So I wouldn't call it law enforcement because I don't come with like, if you don't do it, there's a consequence. If you don't do something, the consequence, the police are going to enact you, take you to the DA, and going to take you to a judge, send you to prison. I'm bringing you knowledge, science, and understanding. So if you don't listen to me, you're just going to have to go bump your head on the rock. So I don't do law enforcement because I can't enact a penalty upon you. I have nobody behind me who's going to punish you if you do wrong. And if I catch you doing wrong, I'm going to try to help you get better or correct the wrong versus take you to the court and to the police station and all that. So my work runs alongside of what they do, but I can't be in law enforcement because, not that I don't believe in prison. I needed to go to prison. I earned my right to prison, but I couldn't send anybody. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I see, I try to help steer them out of that position and away from that position. And it's best of my knowledge.
Question 19. How do you feel about when you were released from prison, but you had to leave people behind that you had became close to on the inside?
That's a question means that you didn't read my book. Whoever you are to ask that question, you did not read my book. Because in my book, which is free on the tablets, by the way, let me say that again. In my book, which is free on the tablets, by the way, if you can't find it, you're lazy because it's on there. I say, when I went to leave, I'm walking down the walkway, and I was supposed to get out in the morning, but they didn't let me out in the morning because I was a problematic kid. They let me out at lunch. So when I came out at lunchtime, I was the only one who left. Everybody left at 8:30 in the morning. They helped me to the second count. So second count, they let me go. It's the last time they get to stick it into me. So they jabbed me one more time. So I'm like, all right, cool. I take that. Listen, I gave it, I got to take it. That's my philosophy. Never filed a grievance, never filed a lawsuit. I gave grief, I got grief. It's how it goes. So I got to leave at lunchtime. And when I'm walking out, and in the place I left, MCI Norfolk, everybody's in their buildings. And you eat lunch in your building. So everybody's like, all the cells that are facing the walkway, the quad, and everybody that's in the hallway waiting to go to lunch is watching me walk away. And I'm seeing my friends, and I'm seeing people I grew up with, I'm even seeing my enemies. I'm seeing the same people that is good people, regardless of standing. And I just thought I'd never see these people again. And it was sad. I cried on the way out the door. I say it in my book. As I walked down that pathway, I cried. When I got to the door before I went out, I cleaned my face up, went through and said, okay, cool, I got to do this. But I actually cried when I walked out. But I've actually walked back in that same prison multiple times. MCI Norfolk has seen me come through those walls. I was sitting in the unit one time. They were like, yo, what the? Is that Dre? Nah, it can't be Dre because he's in the unit. Man, listen, I walk around the yard sometime now. Watch out. So, yes, I went out, but I didn't give up. And that hurt feeling in my heart led me to going back.
Question 20. Do you feel prison was a setback or a comeback for you, and why?
Jew, if anybody ever asks you if I thought prison was a good thing, right? I'm saying just walk away from them. Don't even ask me that dumb stuff no more. Prison saved my life. Prison helped me get a grip on my life. Prison did a lot of stuff for me. But I would have never signed up to go. Let's say that. I made the best of a bad situation, but I'd have much rather not gone. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I came out, I'm a speaker, I'm a trainer, I fly around the world, all that stuff. But I actually, when I was 17 years old, I went on a trip to Paris, to Belgium, to Amsterdam, and to London. So I was international before I went to prison. I was my high school's first ever foreign exchange student. So I didn't need prison to go overseas. But no, prison was not a comeback, setback. It was a wasted 14 years. I made the best of a wasted 14 years, but no. You're there. This is not to be celebrated. I didn't look for no party when I came home. I graduated high school. No, this was a setback.
Question 21. If a person was in a bad situation financially, can you advise them on how to turn things around within 90 days and be financially stable?
Can I help you turn around in 90 days? Probably not. It goes, if you have a bad spending habit, if you have a drug habit, if you have a gambling habit, if you have a tricking habit, I'm saying if you're just like the go-to, you got like they're super, you're like they can manipulate you. Your sister, mother, aunt, cousin call you and they need money. You're just like the one that gives in. You got simp problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your problem is, but if you're just broke and you had money, but you're broke because you gave it all away or you wasted or you squandered it, you got to fix that first. Your problem isn't making money. Your problem is keeping money. You know what I'm saying? So what I just heard is, can you show me how to keep my money? Yeah, stop giving it away. Oh man, but my sister, her kids, oh my brother is my dog and the girl down the street, and yeah, that's all true. You got to save you first. You can save them second. When I fly on planes, they always say, if this thing starts rocking, something's going to drop out of the ceiling. They say put your mask on first, and then help the kids and anybody else around you. But if your mask ain't on, you're going to pass out. You ain't going to help nobody. So first things first, stop giving away your money. Whether it's to junk food, whether it's to fast food, whether it's to the movies, whether it's to video games, whether it's to porn, whether it's to travel, whether it's to your girlfriend, whether it's to buying new puppies, whatever you do. You have a job, you make money. What is your rent? What are your lights? What is your cell phone? What are your baseline bills? And no, you shouldn't have 3 people on your phone plan. So if there are, kick them off. You're saying you should have baseline bills for you. Then you look at your baseline bills versus what you make. You say, okay, it costs me $3,000 a month to live. I make $5,000. So you can max save $24,000 a year. Nobody's going to save 100% of their money, but you can max save $24,000. Let's just say you should want to go out once in a while. It's just, okay, I'm going to take at least 2/3 of that and save it. So I'm going to take $18,000 and spend and save it, take $6,000 and blow it on whatever. But you have to first look at your check or your income and say, what are my bills? And in your bills, your rent, your lights, your gas, your phone, you need to write savings in that list. So lights, gas, bills, savings. Then everything else. You can't let the money get into the everything else category, then try to divvy it up, because people gonna come at you When you get that money, when you finish paying your bills is when they're going to come at you. Whatever's in your hand is they're going to try to grab. But if you take the money that you're saving and you put it into the bill money, and it says when you come out the house, instead of having $2,000, you got 500. Then be the guy that you want to be. Stop coming out with the $2,000. Take 1,500 of that, stack it. I got 500. Then let them piecemeal that out. Stop showing up with the $2,000 because you're gonna get whatever you got. You're gonna give away. If that's who you are, fine. Show up with less money. That's the best I can tell you.
Question 22. What was the toughest decision you ever had to make in your life?
Toughest decision I ever had to make in my life. Not living with my kid. When I got a divorce, there was nothing I would have gave anything to have my son grow up in the house with me. So when me and his mom couldn't work it out, and it just didn't work out, I wanted to stay and say, you know something, I'll put up with this because I get to see him. But then my son would have he'd have grew up watching me tolerate his mother. And that's not what you want to teach your kids. Because somebody asked me earlier, how do you work with these kids? Well, if the son grows up watching me tolerate his mother and not really love her and take care of her the right way, he's going to think that's the way it's supposed to be. Because that's what happened to his mom, then that's going to happen to the next woman. That's how he's supposed to be. So the toughest decision I ever had to make was not living in the house with my kid was one. And the second, which was tough but not tough, when he was maybe 9, his mom had a chance to get a job, and I helped her get a job in Africa. So we live in Boston, and I helped them move to Liberia. So they moved to West Africa. And that wasn't so much, it was tougher not living with him than helping him move to West Africa. I cried a lot up until he got on that plane. But I used to go every 6 weeks. That's the other thing. So I was in a situation where if I couldn't physically travel to go see him, I would have never agreed for him to go. But it was tough. It was more emotional than tough. But him moving to West Africa was tough. But him not living in the house with me was the hardest decision I ever had to make.
Question 23. How do you define happiness, and have you found it in your own life?
How do I define happiness? Well, happiness comes in different stages. I'm going to define happiness based on who I am and what I am today. So I have my own house, I have my own business. My son is doing good. You're saying I'm relatively healthy. I get to go as I please. I got a lot of great people that I deal with, do business with, friends. I got great mentors. So I'm happy that I'm cool. My son had a situation last week. He came home from school. Hey son, I'm working. Hey, I can't fly you home because I can't afford it. B, coming home, you got to sleep on the couch. Or C, I got to work, so I can only see you in between my schedule. I can just clear my whole schedule, fly him home, no problem. So I'm happy that I could do that and be there for him and all that. But so I'm in my current space, I'm happy. Can I be happier is a different question. Yes. If I had a real relationship, possibly a wife, you know what I'm saying, that would make me happier. You know what I'm saying? So if I could actually get to the gym and work some of these pounds off, I'd be happier. If I could sit down and I program Second Chance University, develop it and get it to a place where it's actually moving at the light it should be, the speed it could be, I'd be happier. So even the Ask Andre podcast, there's no guest in the chair right now. I'm saying, so I should have like a studio someplace. I should even be doing it. I should be hiring people that can sit down, who have stories, who I should have staff to be out looking for people to get them on this platform so you can see them. So I'd be happier when this is bigger. So I'm happy. I got Second Chance U. I got Ask Andre. My kids in college. I'm happy, but I could definitely be happier if I had a wife, if I had more things to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So happier is around the corner.
Question 24. If you could, what is one thing you would change about society?
If I could change one thing, it would be I'm gonna be personal. I'm gonna keep it simple. I fix the school system. I just say, you know something? I can't fix parents, can't fix marriages, I can't fix a lot of disease. I would want to fix the school system. I believe if we gave everybody a phenomenal education, it would just change our nation. Don't know what direction, how that works, what that looks like, but I just know if we gave everybody a phenomenal education, it would change the dynamics of our country. I think of it back in the day. My dad used to drive a taxi when I was a kid. Uber came out. For those who don't know, I can go on my phone, hit a button, and some random guy pull up in front of my house. Not a taxi, just some guy with an app in his car. So you can order. It's like personal taxis. Everybody's a damn taxi driver. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing. But Uber wiped out taxis in most cities. Airbnb wiped out a lot of hotels. I can rent out my room. I could just take the room on the other side of my house and put it on a website, and people can rent the thing for $80, $90, $100 a night. And strangers will stay in my house. I ordered some food last night on Uber Eats, which is another level of Uber, and it didn't show up. I took a hit for $50. My niece was like, yo, let's charge it back on the card. I'm like, nah, they can keep it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a big deal. But technology has changed the game. Technology Before technology, everybody had state jobs, everybody had city jobs. Now you can work from home, be an Instagram model, be a YouTuber, you can do drop shipping. So it changed the game. So I believe a great education for all citizens in this country and around the world, if we could do it globally, would change the game. I'm saying there's always going to be poor people. There's only be have and have-nots, but the have-nots will be at another level. I'm saying the poor people will be at another level. Poor will take on a different dimension. I watch basketball. I grew up in the 80s, so I remember when Ricky Henderson and Kirby Puckett, baseball players, they both got paid $3 million a piece a year. One got 3 for 9, one got 4 for 12. $3 million a year. I said, what are you doing for $3 million a year? The best basketball player wasn't getting more than $1 million. I think it was Magic Johnson at the time. Maybe $1.5 million. Magic and Dr. J was like it. Everybody else is at hundreds. So when they gave these guys $3 million, it made me watch baseball. I think the minimum salary in NBA now is like $1.5 million. And the highest annual salary right now is $67 million. That Steph Curry's last year is worth $67 million. So the poor in the NBA used to be like 50,000. Now poor in the NBA is 1.5 million. 2.5 million is poor in the NBA. Whereas in the 80s, you had the best. That was one of the best player in the league. The lowest paid now is paid more than the highest paid player in 1980. So as everything goes up, everything goes up. So I believe we really got this education thing locked in for everybody. Everything, rising tides raise all boats.
And question 25. We out here in society see that your mentorship is having a positive effect on Drew, along with all he has done over the years to better himself. So what encouraging words would you give to others that will also impact them on being consistent and following their dreams to be successful?
So Drew decided to take a stand and stand up and say, you know something? I'm gonna listen to this guy. I'm a grown man. I find my own way. I'm gonna listen to this guy. And he decided to listen to me. He can tell you the benefits better than I can. I've had some other people say, you know something? I've tried it this way. I've tried it that way. I'm gonna try Dre's way. And they've decided to do so, and they can tell you the benefits. So when it comes to mentorship, if you want to be mentored, it starts with you. I ain't begging nobody. I ain't dragging nobody. I ain't pleading with nobody to better their lives. I will give you the information over and over and over again. I will not come and beg you. Say, yo, man, you got to do this. Yo, you got to do this. You ain't got to do nothing. If you want to be who you are, God bless you. It looks good on you. If you're happy with it, I'm happy with it. Somebody said to me, yo, man, I did it. I said, how did that work out for you? You brag and you talk. How did it work out for you? Well, it didn't work out for me. Then why are you talking about it? So my mentorship, is my mentorship. I'm Andre Norman. I've been where I've been. I am where I am. I'm going further places. If you want to join me, Second Chance University. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole website set up inside and out. So when you come home, join Second Chance U. You know what I'm saying? And for, right now, this is free. Might cost you $5, $10 when you come home. Come on, I ain't gonna charge you no, ain't about millions of dollars. It's just $5 a month, $10 a month, something basic. And we're gonna give this mentorship on the outside. And you can follow me on the street. And then you can say, yo, the same thing here, I got you out there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to decide, I might not be the right mentor for you. And that's okay. You might be into something totally different. If you want to do artwork and drawing, and I don't draw, I don't do artwork. I don't make music, I don't shoot films. I can teach you on the mindset, I can teach you on dedication, I can teach you on drive, teach you on planning and strategy and thinking, but the actual, Dre, teach me how to paint? No. Teach me how to mindset, teach me how to determination, teach me how to stay focused. I can do that. But I cannot teach you how to code a computer. Never learned myself. So, but my mentees are winning. I point out to them, they're winning. So if you'd like to be a mentee for Andre, matter of fact, at the top of the app, I just made a whole video for this. There's an Ask Andre app window at the top. It says, I think it says Andre Mentor. Click on that, check it out. Click on that, check it out. It's all about mentorship, and if you want to be mentored by me, we can make it happen. So for those of you who have more questions, my email's in the bottom. No, excuse me, my mailing address is in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I put my email too this time, make it easy. But my mailing address and my email's in the bottom. Feel free to email me, and we're gonna do that. Ask Andre. We'll get the questions with the letters. I got a bunch of letters already downstairs. We're gonna bust them out. But until the next time, this is your founder. This is your president. This is your brother, aka Unc. I love you. Keep pushing. Don't ever quit. Don't let them tell you that we can't make it, because we are here. No matter what. Yo, Dre, you had a raspy voice. You're drinking water on film. It's my film. Ain't no rules, baby. I make the rules. I ain't got to be all. It's not about being perfect. Perfect is done. This episode is done. I got a little cold this weekend, so I could have shut the whole thing down. Oh, my God. I don't sound right. I'm not trying to win no Grammys. I'm saying, I'm just trying to bring you some information. So if I got a little cold, so what? I can still show up. Man, you got to wait till your voice clears up. For what? Y'all heard what I said? You know what I'm saying? If you tripping on my voice, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about my voice. Worry about what I'm saying. Worry about what I'm saying. So, mentorship with Andre Norman is possible. Email, write, get at you soon. Until then, peace out.